Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at parametrics. Now, you should have already done the two video modules. You should have done the quizzes already. If you haven't, you need to do so. Let's talk about the homework in particular, though. So you're to do problems 4 through 20, multiples of 4. Well, I'm going to do those right now. So follow along with me. And your homework for Friday is going to be to do the rest of the problems. So here we go. Now, it says, sketch a curve of the given parametric equations over the given interval. To do that, you have two options. Number one, you can use your calculator. So let's go take a look at the calculator. To use your calculator in this mode, you simply go to Mode, and you go down to, instead of function, you slide over to parametric, in which case, once you're in parametric, second quit, you go to y equals. And at that point, you can put your equations in, and you'll notice it says x1t, y1t, okay? So there's two places for the equations. Then you simply graph them. Now, you might have to go over here to Window and set how far they go between, okay? So that's one way to do it, but that's not how I would suggest. I would go ahead and use the link provided here. Now, Desmos has the calculator. And so all you have to do is, if you want a single point, you can put it up here in the points. Otherwise, you go down here and you put the x one in the first part. Well, that's not terribly shocking because x always goes first. So t squared plus 3, very good. And then you go over here and you say t over 4 minus 5. So t divided by 4 minus 5. And then it says from what t to what t. Well, remember, a parametric is two equations, one x with t's, one y with t's. But you have to tell it from what t to what t. So here we go. In this case, it says from -5 to 5, not -58, -5 to 5. Enter. Now, the nice thing about Desmos is you can go ahead and slide it around. You can zoom in or out. And there you go. So you're looking for this graph right here. So all sorts of fun. So that's all you have to do when you are looking at numbers 1, well, I guess 4 and 8 in this case. But now that's how you do 1 through 8, is either use the calculator or you use Desmos. Now, let's go down here and let's take a look at the next problem. So let's go ahead and do number 12. Number 12 says x equals t squared plus 1, y equals -4t plus 3. Well, here's the deal. All I need to do is combine. So instead of having xt and yt, we put them together such that you have y equals shmoo x, okay? So let's get t by itself. Easiest way to get t by itself here is to subtract 1. So we take x minus 1 equals t squared, square root both sides. So t equals the square root of x minus 1. Once I know that, all I have to do is plug it in. So y equals -4 something plus 3. What's the something? Well, t equals this, so put it in. There it is, done. We have y in terms of x. There you go. And if you wanted to graph that, you could totally graph that. To do that, though, you would have to go back and you would have to change your mode back to function, because now it's not two equations with t's, it's one equation with x's. Okay, so you do that, y equals, and then plug in that equation right there in y equals x, as you always did. Okay, so that's how you do that one. Now let's go down to the bottom and let's talk about number 20. Now I've told you, use the Pythagorean theorem. This is that trig identity. So sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. Well, in this case, x equals 6 cosine theta. So if x equals 6 cosine theta, all I have to do is divide both sides by 6. And now cosine of theta equals x over 6. Well, that means if I do the same thing with sine, sine of theta equals y over 4. So now everywhere I see sine, I plug in y over 4. But because sine is squared, square both. And here for cosine, you get x over 6. And square that. So you get y squared over 4 squared plus x squared over 6 squared. And it shouldn't be rocket science. At this point, we know that is an ellipse with the center at 0, 0, goes 6 in each direction. It goes 4 in each direction in the y, and we can put all those pieces there. That's why you have to graph it. You must give conic, not comic, conic with all key points, just like you did on the test. So don't just give me some crap sketch from Desmos or your calculator. You have to actually graph it full on. All right, there you go. That is how to do your homework. Make sure you have it done for Monday. Also, keep an eye on your email in case there's additional helps or additional things that I wish to share with you. All right, thank you very much.